Hey everyone, I'm here today to share with you some other good and important information that I have found to be helpful for myself. And so, as I pick up on information, tips, tools, and good foods from myself and family, I always like to come on here and share with you. Today, we are going to be talking about my top 10 picks for superfoods. Hey, I'm Monique, a pediatrician turned homeschool mom and keeper of my home. Here, I love to share family, health, home, and sustainability tips that will help to provide us with the skills and know-how that we all need to uplift and equip ourselves. Being better equipped, we will all be more sustainable. Now, there are so many wonderful, nutrient-rich foods out there that we have been provided by our Father in heaven. But these are some of those top 10 that I wanted to share with you today. Come on with me. There may be some that you hadn't even considered to be a superfood. First up, we have golden beets. Now, beets, in terms of the golden type versus the red type, they are very similar in nutritional content. They are considered a superfood for several reasons. They are high in vitamins and minerals, some of which are potassium, vitamin C, magnesium, and iron. They are best when eaten in the rawest state versus cooking, because you don't want to lose those great nutrients by adding heat. So if you do get your hands on some beets, try and prepare it so that it is not overly cooked or cooked in a minimal fashion, or even raw. I'm going to be going through my notes to make sure I'm not missing any good information that I want to get out to you. Beets have also been useful and helpful in decreasing the proliferation of cancerous cells. It is high in polyphenols and high in flavonoids, which are excellent superpowers in heart health as well. If you can grab some as a variety, such as the golden type and the red, that would be awesome, and it would look so beautiful too when you're serving them to your friends and family. So keep this one in mind. Next one up is the Azure Market Organics chocolate chips in the dark fair trade and happens to be allergen-free organic type. Now, most of the time when we hear about chocolate, we think of it more to be a unhealthy food or kind of a splurging type of food. But depending on the type that you buy, you can really increase your nutrition in many ways. Dark chocolate has high flavonoids. Those flavonoids help us in multiple ways, including in heart disease, cholesterol. It's high in antioxidant power. It can also help to counteract high glycemic levels if you're using the appropriate type, specifically the dark chocolate and not the milk chocolate. Another thing to keep in mind is no matter which one you buy, take a look at the sugar content. This one happens to have a little bit of a higher sugar content, I've noticed, than the milk chocolate comparatively when I looked at the Azure Market brand. So what you can do is not add very much or none at all extra sugar if you're using this for example, in your baking. So you're just looking for a balance. But the dark chocolate, the properties that it has, it's definitely a good option that I would definitely grab over the milk chocolate. Next up are kiwis. Not many of us grab for the kiwis, but they are known to be a superfood. They are high and rich in vitamin C, potassium, fiber, and antioxidants that help to regulate our digestive health. I like to go ahead and toss these in with some other fruits since they're so tart. Mixing them with a sweeter fruit such as a mango, which also has wonderful antioxidant power, is also wonderful. If you really want to bring it up a notch, you can sprinkle some wonderful raw honey over it, just a small drizzle, and make it a fruit salad. I remember my mom used to make that for me, and it was so delicious. Next up is green tea. Most of us love our sweet tea, but just as the name says, it's very sweet. That high sugar content that we consume can dysregulate, of course, our blood sugar levels and increase fat retention that we do not want. The cells do not want to be flooded with sugar. It causes a dysregulation and inability for the cells to metabolize in an effective manner, leading to all kinds of issues from high inflammation, diabetes, of course, heart disease, and so many more. Sugar is really at the root of many of our illnesses due to overconsumption. So if you like sweet tea, you really have to be careful with how much sugar content you're actually drinking. You may not be aware you're drinking tablespoons and tablespoons full of sugar in just one beverage. So a nice alternative would be some organic green tea. This one does have some caffeine in it, but when you compare the caffeine levels to black tea and coffee, it's lower. So it's about 20 to 30 milligrams according to the Uncle Lee's package of caffeine per cup, versus black tea being at 80 to 120 milligrams and coffee being even higher at 100 to 200 milligrams. Green tea is a potent antioxidant and very useful as that alternative to the sweet teas that we often grab for. Next up are organic lentils. Lentils have been used for thousands of years. They come in multiple sizes and they are very potent in fiber, which then helps to protect our gut. They're like little brushes. When you have high fiber in your diet, it acts as if they are little brushes in the gut, helping to move things along and therefore prevent any lodging of dangerous products, plaques, things of that nature that we don't want to sit within our gut wall. So this is very protective to the colon. It has good amounts of iron, folate, and potassium. And because of that potassium, it can even assist with your blood pressure regulation due to its interactions with salt. So lentils are nice to have. I have gotten the green lentils. I sometimes cook them in the pressure cooker so that it's a little bit quicker, just for about a few minutes or so, and then I put them over rice. And that is a very tasty option. They come in multiple types. I haven't tried the red yet, but one day we shall. It is very nutritious. Next up is your Emmer grain. Emmer is another of the ancient grains. Before, in another video, I touched on spelt. Now we're going to be talking about Emmer. They also call it Farro, but upon further research, Farro is actually a collective term for 3 of the ancient grains, Emmer included, spelt is the other, and einkorn is the other. So this one of note still has gluten present, so if someone is gluten intolerant or they have celiac disease, this one is not necessarily a top choice, but it is highly nutritious for those that can have it. It can help, of course, in regulating our gut because of its fiber content. It also is high in proteins and vitamins. It can also help us to regulate our BMI because it's so rich in fiber and not heavy in fats or heavy in the simple carbohydrates that we don't really want to have a lot of in our diet. It is very useful to help curb obesity and regulate our weight. This one can be used in multiple ways. Most commonly, we can use it to make bread. So of course, if you can, why not add some to your next loaf of bread? You can potentially mix some with an organic all-purpose flour and see how you like the texture. It might be something you'll enjoy. Next up is kale. Now kale is packed with rich nutrients and minerals. It has been said that it is one of the most nutritious foods on the planet. It is high in vitamin A, folate, omega-3 fatty acids, which you need for brain health. It is high in calcium, manganese, potassium. It is a high phytonutrient. It's best when eaten raw, but if you like to cook it just a little, make sure it's not overdone because you want to maintain all those super rich nutrients within. I like to just add it to a protein, for example, if we're cooking chicken, or sometimes if you just want to have it as a vegetarian side, you can toss it in with some beans and add all the other flavorings that you might like. And that can be a delicious meal too. Of course, if you can, try and grow your own. That would be even the best choice because it's coming straight from the ground and highly potent in its nutrients versus the one that would be shipped to you. So that's something definitely to consider planting in the garden. Next up is cranberry. Cranberry is very, very good to have in your cabinet if ever there's someone with any urinary tract issues or inflammation. It can be very, very useful. It is high in vitamin C or proanthocyanidins. It is an antioxidant and has even been said to assist with cancerous cells. It helps to decrease inflammation, and some research has shown that it is even an aid in oral health. So it is wonderful to have some. If you can't have, of course, the fresh cranberries or the juice, try and grab some supplements that you trust. Of course, make sure it's organic and has no other suspicious added ingredients to it. As you can see here, it has cranberry concentrate, organic rose hips, non-GMO bovine gelatin capsules, and as they say, nothing else. So this one looks like a pretty good option if you'd wanted to have some in your cabinet. Next up is Spirulina. This one is not a common one that we often hear about, but it is also a rich superfood. It is high in vitamins and minerals and helps to support a healthy immune system. It can also be used to aid in detoxification, especially if coming from testing where you have been given contrast materials. It can be very useful in combination with other supplements. So this is also a good one to have in the cabinet. You can also sprinkle it in juice or over salads. Those are the most common ways that it can be used. So definitely something to grab and store, preferably in glass, so that you're not getting any leaching of chemicals into your superfood. Last but not least, we have aloe vera. Aloe vera has been said to have over 150 nutrients within. It is so useful for external health, such as for burns, inflammation on the skin. It can aid in wound healing. Internally, it is also taken, but one has to be careful with how much they take because it can cause cramping and even diarrhea. So you need to be careful. You don't want to take this daily. If you can grow it, of course, that's even better. If not, grab yourself a bottle of aloe vera gel. I keep mine in the fridge so that it stays cool because it is really a soothing help. If you have a bug bite or inflammation on the skin, it really helps. And it's wonderful when cool. I hope this list has helped you some. This is only scratching the surface on all the superfood choices that are available out there. But if you have even 10, you are in much better position than having none. As always, be well, stay healthy, and I'll see you soon.